Welcome to the Explainer. Listen, if you're planning any sort of home construction or repair project, you're about to make a massive financial investment. But before you even look at a blueprint or, pick out paint colors, there is one step you absolutely cannot skip, and that is verifying your contractor's license. Skipping this doesn't just risk shoddy work or falling victim to a scam. It literally puts your entire property and your financial security right on the line. So, you really have to stop and ask yourself this critical question. Is your contractor legally allowed to work in the state of Delaware? It sounds simple, right? But getting this wrong has some incredibly severe consequences. If you hire an unlicensed contractor, local building authorities can outright refuse to issue building permits. And even worse, if some sort of damage occurs during the project, your homeowner's insurance could be completely voided, simply because you hired someone without the legal authority to do the job. And guess what? You're the one left holding the bag. And believe me, the state takes this incredibly seriously. Under the Delaware Contractor Registration Act, the maximum civil penalty for knowing violations, which means a contractor intentionally operating without the proper registration, can reach up to $85,000 per violation. Yeah, 85 grand. The financial risks of participating in unlicensed work are absolutely staggering, both for the contractor and for the consumer who gets caught in the crossfire. To make sure you navigate all of this safely, here is our agenda for today. Why verify? Delaware's 3-layer system, a step-by-step lookup guide, handling red flags, beyond licenses, and finally, final tips and a quick disclaimer. Section 1. Why verify your contractor? Protecting your property and wallet. Checking a license isn't just bureaucratic red tape. It's an essential shield against liability. I actually love this quote because it hits the nail right on the head, especially after severe weather hits. Think about a storm damage response in Wilmington, for example. Out-of-state contractors, sometimes we call them storm chasers. They often cross state lines to offer these really quick fixes. But before you ask what that new roof costs, you absolutely must ask where the company files. Why? Because that determines whether Delaware has any legal hold on them whatsoever once your check clears and their trucks leave your neighborhood for good. If you take the risk of hiring untrained or inexperienced workers, you aren't just risking a bad repair job. You're risking a whole cascade of local code violations. If a project gets finished without the required approvals and permits, it actively decreases the value of your home. And remember, you cannot legally pull plumbing or electrical permits yourself for work performed by contractors in Delaware. It just doesn't work that way. Section 2. Delaware's 3-layer license system. Decoding the bureaucracy. Now, unlike a lot of other states that just hand out a single, generic statewide contractor license, Delaware takes a multi-layered approach. They actually rely on 3 distinct state agencies that you need to be aware of. First up is the Division of Revenue, or DOR. They handle tax compliance through a business license. Second is the Department of Labor, the DOL. They handle contractor registration. That makes sure labor laws and workers' comp are all squared away. And third, the Division of Professional Regulation, or DPR. They use a system called DelPros to verify actual trade competency. So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding the difference between these, because this is a massive, massive common misconception. A business license from the DOR merely shows that a business pays its taxes. It functions solely as a tax compliance mechanism. It does not mean the person actually knows how to wire a house or fix a busted pipe. A professional license from the DPR, on the other hand, proves trait-specific competency for specialized fields like plumbing, electrical, and HVACR. You need both to be compliant, but they serve entirely different purposes. Section 3, Step-by-Step Lookup Guide, Navigating the State Portals. Now that we know who does what, here is the exact chronological sequence you should follow as a property owner. First, hit the Division of Revenue business license search to make sure they're a legitimate tax-paying entity. Second, search the Department of Labor's Contractor Registry. Since July 2021, literally every contractor performing construction work in the state is supposed to be listed right there. Finally, if they're doing specialty work like plumbing or electrical, verify their specific trade license on the DelPros portal. When you jump into the Department of Labor's portal, it's actually really user-friendly. You can search by the contractor's name, their zip code, their specific certification number, or their NAICS industry code. You're going to be able to see if they hold an active certificate, their residence status, and whether they're authorized for private sector work, public sector work, or both. And for those specialty trades we talked about, you're going to use the Division of Professional Regulations DelPros system. What's really important to note here is that DelPros provides what are called primary source verifications in real time. You can search by individual or facility. But hey, quick tip, any information you enter must match exactly how the information is stored in their system. Otherwise, the individual you're searching for might not even show up. You can check for active status, expiration dates, and you can even see if they have any disciplinary history on record, which is a huge plus. Section 4. Handling red flags and discrepancies. What to do when things just don't add up. But what happens when you do the search and something looks, well, wrong? Let's walk through a hypothetical scenario. Say you search for a contractor on the state registries, and you get absolutely zero results. Crickets. If a contractor is missing from the Department of Labor's registry, there's a few practical reasons why that might be. Their application might currently be under review. They might have simply forgotten or failed to re-register or renew their license. More seriously, they could have been suspended or had their certificate totally revoked by the department due to violations. Or, worst case scenario, they simply never applied in the first place, and they're operating completely illegally. If the online results are confusing, if they're missing, or you just want to be absolutely sure you're safe, you have a backup plan. You can call the Department of Labor directly at 302-430-7739. They can provide an official status verification right over the phone so you aren't left guessing. Section 5. Beyond licenses, insurance, bonds, and local rules. The final layer of protection. We also really need to look beyond the state licenses as your final layer of protection before those hammers actually start swinging. State law requires that licensed contractors, like plumbers and electricians, carry general liability insurance and workers' compensation coverage. The contractor registration structure actually enforces this at the business level, but listen to me. Do not just take their word for it. Physically request copies of their insurance and bond certificates. You can verify these documents by contacting the issuer or the Delaware Department of Insurance to ensure there is no way you'll be held liable for any accidents or property damage on your site. And please, don't forget about local municipalities. State compliance is literally just the baseline. Let's look at Finnick Island as a highly specific example. If your contractor is working there, they have to obtain a distinct town license for $200 a year. Finnick Island also enforces super strict construction hours, only 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with absolutely no work on Sundays or holidays. They even completely ban pile driving from June 1st to August 31st. Local towns and counties have their own strict rules, and your contractor absolutely needs to know and follow them. Section 6. Final tips and legal disclaimer. Wrapping up your project safely. We have covered a ton of ground today, so here's a highly actionable tip to ensure your project stays safe from start to finish. Once you verify a contractor on the DOR, DOL, and DelPros portals, save those details. Take a screenshot on your phone or print the page out. And don't just check once. Routinely verify their active status and expiration dates mid-project. Delaware licenses generally expire at the end of the calendar year or the end of a 3-year cycle, depending on the specific license. If their license lapses halfway through your kitchen renovation, you need to know about it immediately. And of course, please keep in mind that this explainer is designed to provide general, educational information based on current Delaware frameworks. Laws, licensing requirements, and municipal regulations do change. Always check the official state resources we've discussed today or consult a legal professional for the most accurate, up-to-date information regarding your specific project. So I'll leave you with this final thought to consider today. Who is really working on your home, and are you willing to risk your property, your insurance, and your hard-earned finances on a simple handshake? Take the few minutes required to use Delaware's state portals, verify before you buy, and set your project up for success. Thanks for joining us on this explainer, and we wish you the absolute best of luck securing a credible, reliable contractor for your next big project.